everybody, and welcome to another video. We start this one off with me just turning right here, and as you can clearly see, there's a bus parked on the right. That one's okay to overtake. That one's a little bit dodgy, but this one should never be trying to overtake the bus as I'm in there. That is a lot closer than what it looks on camera, by the way, and we will show you it from the rear. And as you can see, that's the last one, and look how tight that is. I mean, that's ridiculous. But if you look under the number plate, it's a private hire. Yeah, it all makes sense now, doesn't it? It isn't one of Sadiq Khan's mob, but they're pretty much the same all over, you know, clueless. Now, as we're approaching this roundabout, I will slow it down here. I noticed this car to the left just doesn't slow down and doesn't look as it enters the roundabout. So I know that straight away that guy driving that car is a bit of a twat. And this is how I've avoided getting into accidents for over 40 years on the road now. I can spot a twat a mile away. And the thing is, it didn't even affect me, but I could actually see what he did wrong there from quite a long way away. I could actually see that he did something wrong. So I know to keep my distance from him. But if I drove like a tailgater, or I was on a motorbike and I tried to overtake this guy, I could be in trouble here, couldn't I? Because he's hit his brakes for no reason. Then he turns right with no indication. A motorbike would have been in serious trouble there. And that's how you avoid these people. You look further than the end of your bonnet. But that guy there is going to take out a motorbike one day. So now we're up on Epsom Downs. And it used to be such a really nice area here. I say used to be. If we look over to the right hand side, you'll see a smashed up and burnt up car. They've even nicked the police tape off of it. Yeah, what an area now we live in. And a little bit further around this bend here, you'll see one of the old Chavtastics here coming towards us, wheeling on an illegal e-bike. And this is the same Epsom that's been in the news recently about a gang rape in the town centre, where the police have avoided giving a description of the attackers. Yeah, you know what that normally means. Anyway, oh yeah, and there was riot police down in the town centre when there was a big protest about it. Yeah, this is that very same Epsom, a little bit further down the road. So in this clip, we are just about to turn left onto the mad mile that isn't really that mad anymore now that it's been brought down to 40 miles an hour from 60. It's just one straight road, and it should be more than 40 miles an hour. And the trouble is, most drivers on this still drive at more than 40 miles an hour. And that is a problem you have with this road. The two things you have with this road is speeding and lane discipline. And it's all about both of these in this clip. As we pull out here, now that I can get out, you stay to the left. Just don't take you 2 seconds to get up to 40 miles an hour. You know, you're there 40 miles an hour. But if we go to the rear camera, the car behind me automatically goes out to the outside lane, because it's turning right at the roundabout a mile down the road. The Mercedes does exactly the same, but the Skoda in front of it is driving way too slow. So it's going to do a bit of undertaking, a bit of zigzagging, and then obviously do the speeding that I've been talking about. And that is the Mad Mile, or the road formerly known as the Mad Mile. And when we go to the rear camera in a second, you'll get to see that the Skoda hasn't gone anywhere near me. It's still there. And it don't get anywhere near me neither. It just stays there the whole length of the Mad Mile. A little bit further down the road, we're still on the A217, and as you can see, it's one lane going both directions. For some people anyway. A little bit further down the road, it does go into 2 lanes, but it's a little bit further down the road where it goes into 2 lanes. Not now. Why does this car seem to think it's 2 lanes now for some reason? And drive straight into oncoming traffic. The oncoming traffic has to move out of its way so he can do that. I don't get it. It's not until you get further down towards the lights that it goes into 2 lanes here. That's too early to do that sort of manoeuvre, isn't it? And then straight after the lights, it goes back into 1 lane again. And there's normally a bit of a bum fight here for positioning when it goes from 2 lanes to 1. But not normally back there, that far back does people go out of the lane to actually try and beat the 2 or 3 cars. It's just really poor driving. So a little bit further down the very same road, you'll see behind us here that the lane discipline is still the same. Really, really poor. Everyone out in the outside lane and no one overtaking anything. Now in that outside lane, there is a pickup truck with a trailer on it. That is who we are concentrating on. And the thing is, it is a very long vehicle because of the trailer, so why is it not over in the left-hand lane, the right as we're looking at it? Because, believe it or not, it wants to turn left a little bit further down the road. You had plenty of time to move over to the left on this stretch of road here and refused to. You're not overtaking anything, so you're not gaining any ground being in the outside lane. So why not move over to the left-hand side, the right as we're looking at it, and you're in the correct lane because you want to turn left a little bit further down the road. You've got a big trailer on the back of the motor. It just makes things difficult. I don't understand why these people just don't get this. It's just, you've gained nothing being out there, so you might as well be in the correct lane ready to turn left. Especially as we're coming to quite a few junctions down here now and quite a few traffic lights. So all the traffic is starting to bunch up because of the traffic lights. So what does that mean? All the traffic's going to be bunching up and it's going to be harder for you to change lanes, especially with a vehicle that long. So to cut to the chase, what happens now is, because this idiot will not move over to the inside lane, someone else has got to make allowances for this poor driving of his. Now, as you can see, it's quite a long vehicle there that he's got, and he needs to get over. He's not indicating, he's not showing any interest into getting over to the left hand side neither. So someone has got to make allowances for him. It's not me, by the way. I don't. He doesn't actually get past me here properly, so this isn't an undertake, because I do go past him here. And just past the McDonald's here, there's another set of traffic lights, and that is where he wants to turn left. Yeah, these very next set of lights, there's a little weeny slip road here, there, where that white car's gone in there, and that's where he wants to turn left, by the Tesco's now. And he's still in lane 2. So what are you doing? So the guy behind me in the van has to slow down to let him in. He's now started to indicate. It's the first time he's shown any interest to get over, and look how far he is from the turning itself. Look, the slip road bit that goes off to the left. Crap driving. Absolutely crap driving. Always someone else has to make allowances for these people though. Now, something I see quite a lot of now on our streets is riding towards us in a minute. It's a motorbike. See it there? Now, it looks like it's doing not a lot wrong there. It's riding quite nicely and quite smoothly, a little bit close to the car in front, but nothing majorly wrong. Until you see the rear. And then you look at its number plate. You can't see it, can you? And there's an L on that as well. So, you know, you can see how small the number plate is, and it's wedged up as well. So any cameras or anything like that will not be able to read what that is. So even before this guy's passed his test, he's deliberately doing things wrong.
Could have got over a bit.
She wasn't even looking.
No,
not even looking this way.
Yeah, I don't know what was so interesting over there, but there was nothing there that I could see. But there is a car right in front of you, dear. Have a look this way. Now, in this clip, I don't think this woman is the full ticket. She's walked away from the safe bit of the bollards there to have a little walk in the road. Normally, to be honest, I don't normally let these people cross in front of me like that. But yeah, I did this time because I could see that she wasn't the full ticket. You know, why would you move away from the safe part of the road to walk in the road? I don't get that at all. So a little bit further down the road, we've come to someone else that we've already seen on this video. The bike. Yes, the motorbike again. We're just waiting for this guy to turn around, and we go to the rear camera now, and there he is. I don't think that L plate wrapped around your suspension is good enough, do you? And then when you go to the front camera here, you'll be able to see his number plate now, and that L plate isn't good enough, I don't think. I think it needs to be bigger than that as well. So a lot of things going on with that bike that shouldn't be going on. But as we all know, there's no police on our streets to stop these people doing the stuff that they're doing that's deliberately wrong. Now, I've said this 1,000 times, I think, on this channel. If you pull out on someone and they have to slow down, it means you shouldn't have pulled out on them.
Really, mate? Looking straight at me all the time. And now it's being the brakes.
Now, I know this is kind of hard to see because that there in his hand is his phone. Yeah, he's holding his phone in his hand as he's doing this shit driving in front of me.
On his phone. On his phone.
And we go to the rear camera now, and you can see that he could have gone out after I've gone past him. He didn't have to slow me down, but he did, because that's their mentality. It doesn't matter about anyone else. I'm in charge. I'm more important than you. Yeah, bad attitude, as well as bad driving. So
On his phone.
but look at the door as well in a second. You'll see the door just swing out. Yeah, there's cars driving past him, and he just opens the door. He's on double yellow lines on his phone, and he just opens the door wide open to get out. Attitude problem as well as driving problem there. Now we're on the same stretch of road going back the other way when we come across another van that's parked really badly on the left hand side here. It's double yellow lines on the pavement and blocking that car from seeing anything coming this way, the way that I'm coming. But when can this car see me? It must be able to see me now. We can clearly see it, so it must be able to clearly see me. So why does it keep going forward? I'm going to answer my own question here, because he's got Ray-Ban Stevie Wonder edition sunglasses on, and he's obviously got the 4 circles of dumbness on the front of his car. Always an Audi. And yes, I know I'm being a little bit harsh on the guy because he couldn't see, but when you could see, stop, there's a car coming towards you. Now for the last couple of clips here, we're talking about manners here. Now this car in front of me should never have pulled out, but she's either saying sorry or thank you, you know, hand up a few times there, to, you know, apologise or say thank you, whatever it is. I mean, and that's what she should have done, because she should never have pulled out there. There wasn't too much of a problem. This guy here just cannot get into the lane properly. Not a problem, because I could get past it. But my driving style has changed over the years. I like to think that I let out my fair share of people from turn-ins and stuff like that. But over the years, that has decreased. That has definitely decreased with me letting people out because of manners. I get so fed up when I let someone out and they don't even turn around and smile, bit of wave, put their hazards on, some sort of acknowledgement, you know, for you stopping purposely to let them out, or leave them enough room for them to get out as well. Like coming up here, we've got these traffic lights here that's going to go red. Got a car coming out of the petrol station, so I'm going to stop way before my stop line to let this car out. So the car has to pull out into that little gap there and just wait. And look at him. He just doesn't look at me. He don't acknowledge me. There's no wave and there's no hazards on when we go straight. Nothing. And these are the people. This is what's making me not let people out anymore. I do let people out, but not as many as what I used to. Look, there's nothing there. Yeah, so I'm thinking it's people like this that stop me driving the way I used to drive, because they've got the manners of a goat. So now I'm going to show you a few of your own clips. Just a handful of clips that I've got spare here. We're looking at the guy in front. Now this is the same road where we had the pickup truck with the trailer. The guy in front here, look, has to be in front. Moves out to the outside lane. And look at that cut in towards traffic lights. Was it really worth it? What an absolute numpty. We got a green light. 2 cyclists went through the right lights there. Both of them in black, yeah, dressed in dark clothes, and they go through a red light as well. Then up on the pavement. And then we got this joker. Yep, he obviously didn't want that in his car, did he? So now we got a little bit of a petrol head moment for you. It's a teeny little toy car. I mean, look how small that is. I don't think I'll be able to fit in one of them. But having said that, the guy that's in it doesn't look a particularly small guy, but then I guess everyone would look really big in a car that size. Does look a little bit nippy though. So now we're going to come to a roundabout, and obviously this car does it all wrong, goes round the roundabout the wrong way, but I can sort of understand it. And hear me out first before you say, well, he's doing something wrong. Yes, he is doing something wrong, but if he was to go around the roundabout, he's got to go past the turning that he wants to get round. It's the circle in the middle there is too big. It's also not in the correct place. It's over too far to the right as we're looking at it. See? Everything is wrong about the roundabout itself. Everything is wrong about how the driver takes the roundabout as well, obviously, but the road needs to be improved there, because we will be waiting longer waiting for him to do it properly, and that's not what roundabouts are designed to do. Now again, this is a roundabout here again, the same sort of thing, but this roundabout, there's nothing wrong with this roundabout as that I can see. You just got to take the roundabout like this guy here does, and the car behind it does. They go around the roundabout because you're not going past the turning. These guys here are cutting the corner, yeah, and cutting the roundabout. That is completely different to what we've just seen in the previous clip. I think so anyway. I think there's a big difference there anyway. Anyway, guys, that's all we got time for today. Thanks a lot for watching, and thanks for everyone that sent in clips. And I will catch you on the next one. Bye for now.